Doubt around Pedro Acosta's hype, Vinales as the underrated hero, KTM's technical confusion, Ducati and Honda's risky obsession with Acosta, the brutal reality of MotoGP performance culture. Pedro Acosta is not what you think. The real KTM hero is hiding in plain sight. What if I told you that MotoGP's most hyped rookie is already being outclassed? What if I told you that while the world watches Pedro Acosta, another KTM rider is quietly tearing up the Red Fortress? What if I told you that talent means nothing? If you can't deliver on Sunday, this is not the story the headlines are telling, but this is the story MotoGP is actually writing. Chapter 1. The myth of Pedro Acosta. The wonder kid, the teenage phenom, the one who was supposed to redefine this sport. Moto2 champion, Moto3 champion, the boy who jumped onto a MotoGP bike with the fearlessness of a lion. He was supposed to light the grid on fire. He was supposed to shake up the establishment. He was supposed to win. But has he? Has Pedro Acosta truly lived up to the hype? Or have we been sold a dream that's not ready for reality? Let's be honest, he's quick. There's no doubt about his raw speed. At Aragon, he finished 4th, same as Le Mans. But that's not alien territory. That's not championship caliber domination. That's survival. Chapter 2, the numbers don't lie. 6th overall in the championship, 0 wins, 0 podiums, only consistency and frustration and quotes about struggling machinery. I'm not patient, he says, but MotoGP doesn't care. It doesn't wait for anyone, especially not someone with just a name. Acosta is frustrated with KTM. Yes, he's already being linked to VR46. Ducati wants him. Honda has its eyes on him. But here's the million-dollar question. If Acosta is the future, why is a Tech 3 rider beating him in results, consistency, and adaptability? Chapter 3. The Dark Horse. Maverick Vinales. Vinales. No headlines, no hype, no grand introductions. But he's the man doing what Acosta and Binder can't. He's adapting, delivering, and doing it on a satellite bike. He should have had a podium in Qatar. Penalized for tire pressure? Yes, but that ride was monstrous. It was Vinales showing what KTM is capable of when ridden to the limit. And again in Aragon, Vinales put that Tech 3 between the Ducatis. Not by chance, not by circumstance, by skill. Where's the buzz for him? Where's the media circus? Nowhere. Because Vinales doesn't sell dreams. He delivers reality. Chapter 4. The Pedro Excuse Machine. Let's break it down. Every race we hear it. The bike isn't stable. The aero's not dialed in. We're lacking rear grip. We're not patient. Sound familiar? That's Acosta, week after week, laying the foundation for why he isn't performing. Now contrast that to someone like Marquez. He took a year-old Ducati last season and fought for podiums immediately. No complaining, just aggression, just raw performance. Acosta's ceiling is high. We all know that. But this season, he's been more bark than bite. Chapter 5. After Aragon, the Red Bull KTM team scrambled for answers. Binder tested all day. Aero packages, lower downforce wings, mass dampers, everything. Why? Because nothing is working. Binder has just 3 points in the last 3 rounds. Acosta is plateauing. Enea Bastianini can't stop complaining about off-brake understeer. But Vinales? No testing drama, no post-session interviews full of excuses. He just shows up and races. At Chapter 6, Ducati and Honda's gamble. Ducati wants Acosta. Honda wants Acosta. But let's not forget, Ducati chose Marquez over Jorge Martin. They chose proven over promising. Now they want to take another gamble? Sure, Acosta is flashy. He's marketable. He brings the youth. But there are riders with less PR and more grit who would kill for that red bike. Riders like Fabio Di Giannantonio, like Franco Morbidelli, even Fermin Aldeguer, all hungry, all underestimated, all showing more fight with less machinery. MotoGP loves a good story. And Acosta? He's a filmmaker's dream. But this isn't Netflix. This is war. This is racing. And right now, the story doesn't match the scoreboard. Vinales is giving KTM what Acosta was supposed to. Top finishes, pressure on Ducati, A reason to believe, but the spotlight keeps pointing the wrong way. Chapter 8. The Acosta Ducati rumors, fact or fantasy? Now let's address the elephant in the paddock. Will Acosta join Ducati in 2026? The truth is, it's complicated. He's tied with KTM. They won't let him go without a fight. Sky Italia says negotiations are happening behind closed doors. Mutual pressure, they say. But KTM wants to lock him down through 2026. And they will, unless something breaks. The longer he struggles, the more the manufacturers will watch closely, not chase blindly. Chapter 9. Marc, Alex, Pecco, the judge's verdict. After Aragon, the podium trio was asked, what would Acosta do on a Ducati? Marc Marquez, championship leader, smirked. Better than KTM? Yes, fast, of course, but we'll see. Alex Marquez? I agree with Marc, but until you ride it, you don't know. Pecco Bagnaia, more optimistic, said, fighting for podiums for sure. And yet, not one of them said, title contender. That's telling. Even the best riders in the world aren't sold just yet. Chapter 10. The real KTM problem. Let's not sugarcoat this. KTM is in a technical identity crisis. Their bike is fast on paper, but unstable in reality. They've copied Ducati's aero, they've copied Ducati's damper, but the essence, the balance, it's not there. And no matter what Binder or Acosta try, the answers remain buried. Only Vinales seems to have found a middle ground, which begs the question, if Maverick can ride around the problems, why can't the rest? Chapter 11. Who really deserves that red bike? You want a rider who delivers under pressure? Who beats factory bikes on satellite machines? Who doesn't blame tools but sharpens them? That rider is Maverick Vinales. You want a rider who talks a lot, races well occasionally, but mostly gets stuck in development hell? That is Pedro Acosta. This isn't a question of talent. It's a question of who's ready right now. Chapter 12. The final verdict. Acosta has time. He's young. He's brilliant. But this season, it's been more learning than leading. More headlines than hardware. And if Ducati and Honda are betting the house on him, they better pray he grows up fast. Because Vinales is already there, doing it, proving it, and not waiting for permission. Cold truth. In MotoGP, hype dies fast. The stopwatch doesn't lie, and names don't win races. Lap times do. Pedro Acosta? He may become a star. But right now, the one delivering the goods wears orange and black. And his name is not Pedro. It's Maverick. Maverick Vinales. Fade out, quiet reverb, slow zoom on Remember this the next time the headlines scream. The future is Acosta. Because Acosta. Because the present, it's already screaming back.